Welcome to Dialogues of Discovery, a platform where we bring you conversations with visionary thinkers and trailblazers who are shaping the future. If you are curious, passionate, or just figuring it all out, you have come to the right place.
Each episode brings you insights, experiences, and advice from the lives and minds of remarkable people, scientists, innovators, and creators. So you can get inspired, explore, and start carving your own path forward. Listen on to uncover more.
Today, we are deeply honored to be joined by a legend in Indian science and a towering figure in the world of optics, Professor Ajoy Kumar Ghatak. With over 170 research papers and 20 books, his work has become a cornerstone of optics education in India and beyond.
Professor Ghatak's contributions have been recognized with some of the highest national and international honors, including the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize.
So without any further ado, let's get started with today's interview. So, Professor Ghatak, we have curated a bunch of questions we think will inspire the students, not just the students, but everyone listening in. But before we dive in, could you please give our listeners a brief overview of your work and its significance, especially for young people who may be encountering it for the first time?
Okay. Nikhil, it's a pleasure to be here. And regarding I have worked in a variety of areas and from transport theory to fiber optics. And recently, after my retirement, I got into Einstein and his special theory of relativity. And my latest book is on E is equal to mc². So that came out only a few months back. I will send an announcement of that to Sonali. So in that book, maybe I will tell you what I have tried to show. What the equation E is equal to mc², as you know, is a very famous equation. It was put forward by Einstein in 1905. What it implies. So it means that something like this. I will give you one example. You take your sun. Our sun emits a lot of energy. How much energy does it emit? For example, a 100-watt bulb emits about 100 joules of energy per second. A 100-watt bulb emits about 100 joules of energy per second. And our sun is also like an electric bulb, but its wattage is 400 trillion. So 4 followed by 26 zeros. That is the wattage of our sun. And so therefore it emits 400 trillion joules of energy per second in the form of light. And a very small portion of that light reaches our Earth. Now Einstein's E is equal to mc² tells us the very fact that it is emitting light, it must be losing mass. Mass is getting converted to energy. And if you use the Einstein's equation, famous equation, E is equal to mc², then the loss of mass per unit time is equal to loss of energy per unit time divided by the square of the velocity of light. C is the square of the velocity of light, which is about 300 million meters per second. If you do the division, then it turns out that every second, now listen to this carefully, every second our sun is losing 4 billion kilograms in a second. 4 billion kilograms in a second. So in 1 year, it is losing about 120,000 trillion kilograms in a year. And in comparison, in the Hiroshima atomic explosion, there was a loss of mass of only half a gram. So I enjoy telling the students about the equation E is equal to mc² and that it means. The second example, and that is this last example that I will give of understanding E is equal to mc², is, you see, you must have heard of the atom. Atom consists of a nucleus Nucleus consists of neutron and proton, which are held together by means of nuclear forces. Now, a deuteron atom, a deuteron nucleus, which is the nucleus of heavy hydrogen, consists of one proton and one neutron. Consists of one proton and one neutron. They're held together. So when the neutron are separated and when they come together like two magnets, they get stuck together. So there is a certain binding energy. So in order to pull them apart, it requires some energy. And so therefore, when they get stuck together, its mass decreases by a small amount. And when you pull them apart, you have to supply a certain amount of energy, and you thereby create a small amount of mass. So I've written this book to tell the young students of your age group, particularly in class 11 or 12, that what is the meaning of the equation E is equal to mc², and above all, how, and that is my own derivation of E is equal to mc². I've given a 4-line derivation of the equation. So that has been my most recent research work, which I have published in April of this year, 2025.
Oh,
And
that's really interesting. Yes, please continue, please.
these days I go to schools and colleges and tell about Einstein, his life, and this particular contribution, which a young student like you should be able to understand, and what led to the making of the atom bomb and of the nuclear reactor and things like that. So this is my latest venture, and students, and of course, the young students get excited to listen to this. Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
that's really
Ashna.
interesting because E equal mc² is just like this big equation. Everybody hears about it. But the way that you're talking about how you're taking it to students and you're actually
Yes.
talking about all of these kind of different kinds of things that equation really signifies, I
Yes.
think is really interesting. And I've read a lot about the different kind of work that you've done. So I see how you've done a lot of different kinds of research and you really want to take it to people.
Yes.
And I find that really inspiring. So I was actually curious because I know you've had a career in research and you've been recognized in as like a researcher who's done a lot of different kinds of things, who's excelled as a researcher, if I may say that. So what really inspired you to take a career in research in the first place?
My father did his DSc, Doctorate of Science, and from Allahabad University. So it was research actually, and he did very, very beautiful research in organic chemistry. So my father always was a great source of inspiration. So I always wanted to do higher studies and do PhD. It was only at the BSc level that I got interested in physics. Then I studied MSc from Delhi University. And then I went to Delhi University was also very good. It had outstanding teachers. And there they inspired me that I should do my PhD. And I applied to several places in the United States. And I got admission in 5 places. And one of them was Cornell. My professor said that Cornell was a very good place. So I went there. I initially wanted to do work in experimental nuclear physics, but I ended up working in neutron transport theory. And when I came back to India, I continued my work, but then I started working in optics and later. So I've changed fields. What inspired me? My teachers were very good. All along, I wanted to be in teaching and research. Maybe my father influenced me. And let me tell you that although in the initial period, the salaries were not that great, but I really enjoyed my career. It's a very fulfilling career. And I met students like Dr. Sonali Das Gupta and others, and And IIT Delhi provided a very beautiful atmosphere. Even Cornell University was a great experience. Delhi University was a great experience. And this is what I want to tell the younger generation, that if, if you start working in a fundamental area like physics or chemistry or mathematics, the, the enjoyment that you get is just limitless. It's just limitless. Uh, of course, it does not give you as much money as probably other professions does, but you have to balance the two. But I have enjoyed it, and I have earned a reasonable, decent amount of money also. Have I answered your question, Ashna? Yes.
That's really amazing to hear that you've actually touched so many aspects of science throughout your journey. And through this process, you're also inspiring more students to do that. And
Yes.
now my question would be that if you are able to redefine India's science education today, what would you change? Would you change anything? If yes, how?
Oh,
And
of
if
course,
not, why
of
not?
course, of course. What today I am, now listen to this carefully. What today I am most scared of is the coaching centers. I will tell you why. Coaching centers are not to be blamed. Coaching centers employ some of the outstanding teachers. They have great teachers. But students just be, if you want to get into a good college in Delhi University, or if you want to get into IIT, just going through the +2 syllabus is not enough. So you have to do studies apart from that. And so therefore, the greatest threat that I see is that what will a young student like you like to do? There is a peer pressure. Also, you may yourself want to study in IIT or in a good college. Then you feel that getting a good grade in CBSE is not enough. You have to do well in JEE or CUET. So therefore, you go to the coaching class and miss. So I don't blame the coaching classes. Understand this point. Many people blame the coaching classes. I do not. And they employ some of the best teachers in our country. And they can teach also very well. But I blame ourselves that we have, you see, if you want to do physics honors, or if in a good college, the government should provide that facility. The number of colleges and universities that they have, that should increase tremendously. In our times, although the salaries were low, but the competition was not there so much. So when we passed our class 10th, we went to college. Getting an admission in a college, I was studying in Agra, and was no problem. After my BSc, I could have continued my MSc in Agra College, but I wanted to do MSc in Delhi University. There was no other examination. Only my grade in the BSc or grade in the high school or intermediate, that was sufficient. So there was no pressure. There was no such runs. The competitions have become tough. So I'm a student of class 11. Now, what should I do? Should I prepare for JEE? Should I prepare for CUET? Should I prepare for CBSE? Should I go to the school at all? Or should I just go to the coaching class? So this is a serious defect, I may say, in our present education policy. In our present, it has been there. I am responsible for that because we created the joint entrance examination. We belong to IIT, and we had this. Do you follow what I'm trying to say? So that is the greatest concern. What is the solution? The solution is you must have a large number of engineering colleges, large number of universities, very well managed, very good people. The good news is there is no dearth of very good young men and women, both who can teach well, both who can study. So therefore, and this is a tremendous opportunity. And what they have done in China is what I have heard. I have been there only once. That I saw a department. We have departments where there are 20, 30 people in the physics department. They have 200 people. The expansion in the education is tremendous. There is a tremendous emphasis on it. We also have emphasis on, we have very good institutes, but the competition is very tough. And we have to reduce this competition so that a young man or a woman like your age group does not feel the pressure that I have to do this, I have to do this, should I concentrate on my syllabus? That tension should not be there. You follow what I am trying to say. So therefore, some people who have money can afford to go abroad, but very few people. I would not have gone abroad in when I was studying. Now people are planning to go abroad, study in a more relaxed period, atmosphere in a foreign university. But earlier it was not there. But earlier there was no problem in getting admission to a good college. So that I feel, you see, there are two things that is the primary responsibility of the government. One is health and the other is education. And so the I think right now we must have a, I'm not trying to, I'm an apolitical person. I'm not saying that this government is also set up a large number of very good institutes. We had, in our times, we had only 6 IITs. Now there are 25 IITs or 23 IITs. A large number of universities, large number of very good private universities have come up, like Ashoka, Shiv Nadar, Bennett, and many others have come up. So there has been growth. But what has happened is the number of young men and women who want to study has increased exponentially. So the gap has widened. So therefore, larger number of people are there, and so the competition has become very tough. So, in summary, what I would like to say is that the opportunity should be more. A student, if he wants to do medicine, he need not go to Ukraine for that. He need not go to China for that. He or she has to get that opportunity in India. We should strive for that. Do you follow what I'm trying to say? So that is our responsibility, and I worry tremendously for that. Our innings is almost over, but I worry very much for that.
I think that was really amazingly said. How you were talking about the fact that we had a situation before where we had a certain number of people and certain number of universities. Now, even though we've invested in increasing the amount of universities and the amount of infrastructure, the number of people has also increased. So the gap
Tremendous.
is
That has
wide.
increased much more.
Yeah.
That is a very good thing. Now younger people, even from small villages, because of the communication channels opening, that and there's one more thing that I want to tell you. One more thing that I want to tell you, and which is very important. That and this was mentioned in 1869, not 1969, 1869, by a great visionary by the name of Mahendralal Sarkar. And this was the British Raj time. He says there is tremendous poverty in India. The only way to remove the poverty is through education, through science and technology. He said that in 1869, and he created Indian Association for Cultivation of Sciences. So, and today, even today in 2025, the poverty line is 20 people say, some people say 30%, some people say 25%. 25% of the people are below the poverty line. So that means a staggering one-fourth, that is about 300 million people are still below the poverty. How to get rid of that poverty? Only through education, only through science, and only through technology. Look what the mobile phone has done to the poor people. It has revolutionized. It has revolutionized. A poor person from here working in Delhi, his family is in Bihar or Orissa or Assam. He can send money instantly through Paytm and things like that. This is a revolution that has happened. He can talk to his family almost free of cost. This is a revolution. So only through acceptance of new technology and training the younger mind. So we are also one of the very big, I mean, this is the present government great achievement. We have tremendous contributions in artificial intelligence. Now, the tremendous pool of educated young men and women who are experts in artificial, who are experts in computer science. And so that is it. But we need much more. And there are many more people. Our strength is that we have, I'm not trying to flatter anyone, but our younger generation is really very motivated to work, to study, and write. And so we have to provide opportunities for that to grow. Unfortunately, right now, only those people who are very rich can afford to go abroad. Otherwise, imagine, I was so surprised that there were 26,000 Indian students studying medicine in Ukraine. Imagine. And so imagine, so therefore we require medical colleges which will employ, which will teach lakhs of millions of students. We require that. And people want to learn medicine. People want to become doctors, which is a very good sign. Have I made myself clear? So the solutions are there. The path to that is slightly difficult because the government has to find the money. That is difficult because the government has the money for, first of all, for defense. They say that the first thing is defense. You can have people crossing over the border. So everything is important. But the fact remains 25% of the people are still below the poverty. You all should remember that. You all should remember that. Okay. We are the fortunate ones.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I agree.
And as long as the younger generation and the older generation realize that, then our future will be better. We may not be there, but you will create. As long as you have compassion and empathy, that is the. Oh, in India, we have become a bit arrogant, very arrogant, and that is because I'll tell you why. Because the school, in all schools, every parent wants their children to be first in the class, to go ahead in the class. So because of that, in general, in all walks of life, people have become impolite and rude. And that I have seen among administrators, to university professors, to bank officers, everyone. So people in authority exert that. The mindset of service. I was for 2 years in Singapore. And one of the main things that are taught in the school is politeness and humility. That we do not teach. We say that you have to get into IIT, you have to get into computer science. That emphasis, that pressure is too much. I don't know, many people do not agree with me, but these are my viewpoints. I do not know what you feel in Bangalore.
Well, I think what you're talking about as the competition, right? And the inequality as a factor creating that. I think we see all across the nation in every place that we've gone, in schools, every level of education now, because it's even coming like lower and lower towards primary education. Coming first rank in class is a big deal. So I would definitely agree with everything that you're saying. Um, so I have a question. So given the fact that there's a lot of different kinds of technological and scientific changes that are happening right now, right? There's synthetic biology, there's AI, but there's also like a lot of very, very different things that are coming up. Things are really ramping up. So where do you view the maximum future potential? Where do you view the future potential of India in specific? How do you think we can really make things ignite and go forward?
In all areas that you mentioned, we have to leapfrog in biotechnology, in artificial intelligence, in computer science, in software development. In all areas, we have to. And there are many agriculture. Oh, when I came back from USA in 1964, we had famine-like condition. Food was not available. Milk was not available. And then we had the Green Revolution started by Swaminathan, Professor Swaminathan. And the White Revolution started by Verghese Kurian, you see. And the milk, when my son was born in 1960, my older son, we were not getting the milk that he wanted. It was so difficult, black market and things like that. Now there is the price has gone up, but the abundance. So it is possible. So even in agriculture, in milk production, dairy production, there is tremendous scope and tremendous work needs to be done. So what should be the, and in addition, I must tell you that space research, that is the most important thing now. And that requires physics, space research. India sent about 104 satellites in a single rocket in 2018. That was a world record. And that is a phenomenal technological achievement of our country. We have landed something on the moon or something like that. So that those also has to expand tremendously. And maybe the private sector can take up as Elon Musk has his own spacewalks and things like that. So maybe we are blessed with large number of very rich people. And when you become rich, you have to spend on yourself, but also think of others who are not that fortunate. And so people, no, there has to be a lot of philanthropy, a lot of people creating institutions. You see, all these big institutions like Cornell University, Yale University, Caltech, Harvard, MIT, they are all private institutions. They are all created by endowment of rich people. So more institutions like this should come up. We also have institutions, Ashoka, Shivnadar, and many more, many more. But much more. For a country of 1.3 billion people, a larger emphasis has to be there. So we are on the right track. The good thing is we are on the right track, but the growth has to be a little more. That is my opinion. You see, you as a young person, you are very fortunate to be in this country and surrounded by people who are interested in learning, like you, like Nikhil, like others, and who are motivated to achieve more. And the very fact that you are participating in this webinar or discussion is because you want to achieve more. You want to contribute more, not only to yourself, for the growth of our country at large. So this kind of awareness, so we are very proud of the younger generation. It is us who has to provide the opportunities for a person like you to grow. You follow? Good.
So it's really amazing to see how India as a nation has grown scientifically and how we have really progressed in education, in space research, in different fields, right?
That is because of visionaries like Mahendralal Sirkar, like Homi Bhabha, like Setna, like Vikram Sarabhai, and these were visionaries. And you see, I do not name C.V. Raman. You see, C.V. Raman was an outstanding scientist as an individual. Satyendranath Bose was a great scientist. It was like a delta function. He was a super intelligent Ramanujan. But they are not visionaries. They are not visionaries. Visionaries were people like Homi Bhabha who created a large number of institutes. So today in India, we require visionaries, great directors of institutes who can motivate the younger generation, who can create the infrastructure. There is money. There's no doubt about it. I am 100% sure we have so much money, I cannot tell you. And so it is today we require visionaries and all top people who should be very carefully chosen, because the growth of an institute depends on the person at the top. This I have seen myself. And if you appoint a person like your own brother or own sister or from your own caste and not appoint the best person available, then the institute will go down. Then the institute will go down. And this is what is happening. There are, for example, I'll tell you, there are colleges in Delhi which are super great. And the same college under Delhi University is not that great. It is a very poor one. It is management. So managing educational and scientific institutions is extremely important. And so therefore, the visionaries, there should be a think tank to appoint the right person at the top. If you put an incorrect, and I have seen this myself in my I don't want to mention the names, but I have seen people being wrongly appointed and destroying an institution. And this has happened, destroying an university. Allahabad University was once upon a time known as the Oxford of the East. And then its value came down because of political interference, because of this. I'm not blaming Congress or BJP or communist or nothing. But it is just if you appoint the right person at the top, then things will work. If you do not, and give him a free hand, if you do not, and you have political interference in that, then the system will not work. That is you see, if you feel that Maharashtra is only for Marathis, if you feel that Bengal is only for Bengalis, then we are doomed. We are doomed. And so that narrowness of vision cannot be there. C.V. Raman went to Calcutta, and that was the greatness of Ashutosh Mukherjee. That C.V. Raman did not have his PhD, but Ashutosh Mukherjee made him a Parit professor of physics. And then C.V. Raman, of course, left an accounts of his job and joined the Calcutta University and did Nobel Prize winning research. I give more credit to Ashutosh Mukherjee because he had the vision of appointing a person like C.V. Raman. But C.V. Raman could not create a legacy in Calcutta University. He had to leave. There was so much of politics. He could not manage people. He was a great scientist. So managing people is the most important. And for that, we have to be humble. We have to see the other points' views. We have to see the greatness of the vision of the institute that you are trying to lead and things like that. And careful appointments.
I think
and there is a tremendous market for everything because we are a country of 1.4 billion people. We will soon be the country which has the largest young population. And so that is a great asset. And so therefore it is coming, but slowly. The pace is, people are donating, people have made millions or billions. And these Ambanis and Adanis and Tatas and Birlas but there are institutes. Aziz Premji has created an university. Ambanis have created universities. So the numbers are few. So the numbers have to increase.
I think you're absolutely right, sir. You shed light upon many different problems that we are facing at different levels in education, right? So
yes.
In this context, what problems do you think we as the next generation, like Ashna, me, and so many more children that are there in our nation, should focus on solving?
Oh, that is, I mean, that is, you see, who appoints the directors of the institutes? That unfortunately the younger generation will not participate. That system, you have to appoint the right people at the top. You see, you are students, you want good teachers. So someone has to appoint good teachers to motivate you. But if the appointment of teachers is made wrongly, then the whole generation suffers. So you become the victims, although you have the best intention. So what I would like to tell the younger generation is, apart from hard work, Hard work is absolutely necessary. Motivation, humility, and politeness, and compassion for others. And always think that I consider myself very fortunate. I think I can say that I belong to the top 10% or top 5% of the population. So I've been very fortunate. You must also consider and think of others. Have that compassion. And when you grow bigger, if you work hard, you will succeed. That is 100% in this country. If you work not hard, very hard, and focus, you will succeed. You may not be able to. Let us suppose you are not able to go to IIT. You are able to. There is some regional engineering college you go. If you work hard there, you will achieve what you because let us suppose you want to do physics. I'm just saying physics, and because that is the subject that I am most interested in, and you do not get admission in the best college. Let us look at the technology that is available today through YouTube and these things. You can listen to Feynman lectures, to even Einstein's lectures and things like that. You can learn a subject on your own. What a gift of God that is. How fortunate. And that is all free. That is all free. MIT lectures on physics are all free. I listen to them. And I enjoy them so much. I have myself given lectures on quantum mechanics, which are now available on NPTEL, and 42 lectures on basic quantum mechanics. And then I have so if I have, there are hundreds, thousands like that. And if you want to learn music, you can learn music. You can do anything you want. Really, if I tell people that those who do not know how to speak English, that there are now you can learn how to speak English or use any other language just by having a fast internet connection in on your laptop. Everyone has a mobile phone. That is a great thing that has happened. So already we are on the right track. We are on the right track, and the opportunities are there. But if, for example, you have to do the experiment, then you have to have good laboratories and things like that. So, for example, medical education cannot be taught by internet. You have to actually observe things and do the dissection and do the chemistry, do the biology yourself, dissection yourself. So, but because of the technological revolution and India adopting to that technological revolution, we can do. You see, I'm 85, and I'm still very active, and I still do not have much time to spare, and that is because of the technology. And I keep myself updated in small areas, but I write, I publish, I do this thing. That has been possible because of the technological advancement, and internet is the cheapest in India. Internet is almost the cheapest in India. So the opportunities that the younger generation have is also enormous. Is also enormous. Hello.
Okay, thank you. We have one last question. I think
Yes.
it's kind of linked to everything that you've talked about, all the questions that we've asking.
Uh,
We're basically
uh,
asking you to summarize it, right? So if you could give one message to the young minds of today, to the youth of today, to the people who are listening, who will be listening to this, hopefully sometime, if you could give them one message, what would it be?
you should not work hard. You should work very hard. Focus on the subject that you want to learn, even though it may not be your career. If you are doing mathematics or physics, do it with great this thing. And these days, books are available on the internet, and of course, some of them are legal, some of them are not legal. Read them. Spend your time. Remember, always remember, and tell your friends that we all are very fortunate to have access to the internet, to have a mobile phone on our hands, and use them judiciously and work hard and help others. If you help others, you see, my teacher used to say that if you want to learn a subject, you start teaching that. My teacher used to say that. So if you want, don't keep your knowledge to yourself. Share with others. If you say to others, and then you will learn yourself. And one last message will be, I don't know, isn't this effort that you are putting in? Make such efforts. Talk to people, and India has a very bright future. India, in my opinion, has a very bright future. Young men and women are large in number, very bright, very motivated. They have to be a little more polite, a little more humble, a little less arrogant, and, uh, and respect your teacher, respect your elders. That is also very important. That is also very important. Today, you may know much more than your parents, but you have to respect them. You have to respect your elders. That is also vanishing very. This thing. So work hard. Work hard. You have got the opportunity to study in one of the very good schools in India. So remember that you are very fortunate. So work very hard. And I'm not 90%, 100% sure you will do very well.
I think you're absolutely right, sir, that we are very privileged in these times, and we have so many resources that sometimes we don't even know about, sometimes we don't utilize at all.
Yes.
Yeah, I think with that we come to the end of our interview. Thank you so much for this conversation. I really enjoyed this. It's been such an insightful experience learning from you. I think we've learned a lot today. Your stories, your insights were very inspiring. So I'm sure that it will inspire our listeners as well. So thank you so much for taking out the time for being here with us. And we hope to meet you next time as well.
My very best wishes and blessings to you, Nikhil, and to Ashna, and to everyone in your group. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us on this journey of ideas, inspiration, and innovation.
We hope this conversation sparked curiosity and reminded you that behind every discovery is a human story of passion, purpose, and persistence.
Stay curious, stay kind, and keep learning, because the future is being built by the questions that you asked today.
This is Dialogues of Discovery signing off. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking questions.